We're back with the bad vibe with Dwight and Jeremy.
Yeah. All right, so you had something to start out with.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, hey, this is episode 77, guys.
77, yeah. So, I don't know how much you've been watching the news.
I don't.
Okay. You know the show Empire? It's black people. I don't know. I don't watch it. Anyway, Terrence Howard.
I'm Caucasian.
You know Terrence Howard, right? Doesn't I say his name right? The
I mean,
black dude with, like, green eyes?
I don't know him.
You know who I mean.
But, I mean, sometimes we, like, are at the same places. No. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, what's happening?
Yeah, you don't know him, but, like, you're friendly.
He has, like something he says. Remember that where he was, like, a rapper or something?
I can't imagine him being a rapper.
He was a rapper on some movie where, like, he was old, though.
He reminds me of a black dude, but from back in the day.
Hustle and Flow.
I've never seen it.
He was in a movie called Hustle and Flow. It came out, I don't know, years ago.
Well, he's in a show called Empire. It's like, it's one of those shows. It's like a big thing. I think it's a real big-time show, and it's like all black people mostly. I think it's about, he's like the Puff Daddy type character of a record company. I think. I've never seen it.
Okay.
Anyway, there's a person who plays
Suge Knight.
Yeah, but I think he's more like...
That's better.
Less killing.
Oh.
I don't know. I've never seen the show. He might be kill more.
Okay.
Terrence Howard, he don't kill. He's got those green eyes.
Terrence?
You can trust him.
You know what I mean? Was it Clarence? Your real name's Clarence.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Terrence is a better
real
name
nice
than Clarence.
parents. Fucking Eminem, dude.
Okay. So,
Speaking of Eminem, hold on. I was at work today, and this guy came in wearing an Eminem jacket.
Like the food or the
candy?
Okay.
Right? So later on, I had to give an example, like, because they were like, hey, where's that guy at that was here earlier? I was like, I don't know, but he's wearing a yellow Eminem jacket. And they looked at me, I said, not like the candy. I said, not like Eminem.
Yeah, because Eminem,
like the candy.
The rapper, is so, like, pervasive or whatever in our culture that when you say Eminem, you think of him. Mm-hmm. Even fat guys.
It's a black dude wearing an Eminem jacket.
Black people like him, right?
I guess they like M&M's too.
I know. Well, everybody likes M&M's. They're pretty good.
What's even weirder though is it was an M&M like racing jacket. You wouldn't think a black guy would be wearing that. He probably stole it. Right? There's some racist white dude pissed off because his racing jacket's gone,
and he's blaming it on black people, even though he don't know for sure. But he's right for once.
Hold on, racist love racing.
I guess so. I know black people that like
a connection there, other than
NASCAR.
The actual,
I know black people that like NASCAR. They just imagine it's them getting away from the cops and like, yes.
Yeah, they're like, get it, right?
So anyway, Terrence Howard. Mm-hmm. He's a show called whatever, Empire. Anyway, the guy who plays his son
Do they strike back?
I hope so. The guy who plays his son on it is named Jesse Smollett or Smollett or Smollett. I don't know.
He's French?
He's American. He's American.
Or do you go to the buffet or the buffet?
Yeah, buffet. But I don't know if his name has that, has that accent on it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, his name's Jesse, like Jussie, instead of Jesse. That sounds like a slave name. I don't want to be racist. But doesn't Jesse sounds like a slave name?
Jesse?
Jussie.
Oh, Jussie.
Jussie. And he's gay. Jesse doesn't like pussy.
Is that what you've been wanting to bring it up? Right?
No, you really don't know about him?
Jussie?
Yeah. No. Dude, it's crazy that you know.
Is he retarded?
No, he's gay. So, yeah. He's like, I want to get retarded on that ass.
Yeah.
No.
He's like, guys' asses.
You got to clarify.
Yeah.
Back in the day when women had flat asses and nobody cared about them, you could just say ass, they knew you meant dudes. Because that's what you like. I guess they did anal.
Back in what day? Hold on.
You ever see...
I'm talking about like 20 years ago. You're talking about hundreds of years ago.
No, I'm talking about like when we were kids.
Oh.
Girls had flat asses. Black girls had nice asses. And white guys didn't like fat asses. I don't know what happened. Now white girls have fat asses too.
And everyone likes them.
Another thing we stole from the blacks.
Yeah.
You know that all the best of our country, a lot of it comes from... Like, think about our entertainment. Rock and roll, black music. Of course, rap is directly still... controlled by black people.
Yeah, black people are like, because they did come out with that first.
Rock and roll all came from
white people
old
like,
rhythm
fuck
and
it, we'll
blues.
come over there again.
We got Elvis.
Right? In the late 80s, early 90s, they're like, fuck it, we got this one. And late 90s, Eminem's like, give it back. Right?
I mean, there's a couple of like...
Tiger's like, well, I got fucking golf then.
Yeah, he did get golf.
And all of your chicks.
Yeah, but he's part, like, whatever.
Yeah.
something. Asian, right? He's Asian.
Yes.
He's a black Asian.
So he's got a normal penis. You know what I mean?
Average.
It's
exactly average. Like whatever. What do you say? It's like 5.
No matter what state he's in, it's average for that state. Right?
Yeah. When he goes to like Alabama, it's average, but it's like 7 inches. It's average.
Yeah.
I got a lot of black folks. So anyway, so that Jesse, what guy? Okay. So he played the son on this big time show.
Okay.
And I guess he was going to be written off soon. He was
His real name was Jesse?
Yeah, that's his real name. And he's a black gay
character.
dude. He's a black gay dude.
Does he play a gay person on there?
I don't know. I've never seen the show.
You think like a straight up like crazy like feminine gay person could just play like a manly person and they have to be a really good actor,
I think
right?
they. Oh, you mean if they were real like
yeah, like
whatever the word is for that, like go girl, that kind of gay.
lefty. Like we've said that before on here.
Like you remember it's that dude we used to work with at the restaurant, that big fat guy that used to always tell us he wanted to suck our dicks.
Never told me that.
Do you remember his name though? You know who I mean.
I'm like, he never told me that.
You really didn't?
No, I was like 16.
Oh, he might have didn't want to fuck a young.
I was 16.
But you would think that dude would want to suck a 16-year-old dick. What was his name? Do you remember or no?
No.
If you said it, I would know, but I can't. Anyway, yeah, he told me one time I was watching.
I want to say his name was Jeremy.
It was me. I was a big gay guy that wanted to suck my own dick.
I ate sheep shit.
The only reason I want to suck your dick is because we're related, not because you were 16. So, anyway, that dude...
It was a fat white dude, right?
Real fat and nasty. Like, when you think of gay people, they're usually in good shape.
Like, his ass would stick out. We didn't say the name of the restaurant, did we? It's
No.
like, ass. I don't think it works there anymore.
I hope not. He was the one that handled the baking mostly, which is the gayest part of cooking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really's like, oh, I got my dough, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So he would do the baking.
And I need it.
The rolling pin was multi-purpose.
Oh, gosh.
So, yeah, but there was a big tray they would put the dough in to rise. And I remember a lot of times he would bend down to get something and his ass would be towards the dough. And he'd do like that much, like a foot of ass crack.
Someone's like, there's hair in here. Like, that ain't pubes.
And it not only...
That's back pubes.
Yeah, there's hair in there, and it is pubes, and it's off of him, but it's not his pubes.
Yeah.
Some dude that was railing him the night before.
Oh.
So, yeah, but he told me one time, I was washing dishes, and he was
His name
baking.
Peter?
No, not Peter. That would be two. There's no way it was Peter, and I don't remember.
Oh, shit.
I was washing dishes, and he was in the back, and it was me and him in that part of the kitchen, kind of alone. And he was like, we were joking around. I was like joking around with him, and he was like, I was like, you know, whatever. And he's like, Jeremy, I'll tell you this. He's like, I know you're not gay, and I know you don't want to like mess around with a man, but if I ever sucked your dick, you'd never go back to your girlfriend. And I was like, why? Shame? Like, I don't want to face her? Yeah. And he's like, think about it. I've had a dick for 46 years. You think I don't know how to make one feel good? And I was like, I mean, I believe you. I just don't want to. It doesn't matter. It's like a hot chick that has AIDS.
You ever sit there washing dishes and you're thinking about it? Right?
Long story short, he blew me in the bathroom.
That's a little bathroom.
Yeah.
Two big dudes in the bathroom.
No way we're both fitting in there.
Oh, shit.
But, why was I talking about? Oh, gay black dude.
That's a mile low club, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that, like, let's say, for whatever reason, I'm like, all right, fuck it. He does it. I can't imagine, because it's not even that you're doing something gay and you're not gay. You may feel shame about that or something like that. But this dude was, like, gross.
Because he always worked with Philip, right?
Yeah, I almost said his name was Philip, and I remember Philip was the other guy that didn't suck dick, or at least didn't advertise it, you know. But,
he was in prison, though, wasn't he? I'm so sure he did.
Everybody that works in that kitchen had been in prison, pretty much, except you, because you weren't old enough to go to the real prison yet, you know?
On the application, there's like prison, yes or no. And when they put no, they don't get the job, right?
Yeah,
I can't afford you. You haven't been to prison before. Basically. You're not going to work for $7.25.
I'd never been to prison. I'd never even been to jail at the time that I worked there. But anyway, so back to Jesse.
Jesse. The yodeling cowboy?
Who?
Jesse, the yodeling cowgirl.
You just knew it was stupid and didn't want to repeat it?
I was like, it's all the Toy Story.
So anyway, so here's what happened. That dude, Jesse, there was all over the news that he had got like a hate crime done to him. That these two guys...
Like black?
He's black.
Or gay?
Both.
A gay black crime. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So Black Lives Matter.
Do they?
No. They don't.
So he said that these two guys with Donald Trump hats, the red hats, they came out and he said he was walking down the street. It was 2 a.m. in Chicago in like January or February. So it was like freezing balls. And he said he was going to Subway to get a salad.
Tossed.
So he didn't even I don't even know if he ever said he's gay.
Get it tossed?
I don't know if he ever said he's gay or if I'm just basing that on that at 2 a.m. he's buying a salad at
They
Subway.
do toss your salad there too, though.
They really do, yeah.
Like they put in that little thing. They have that little weird
Could you imagine
knife that's
Subway
circular.
just like,
you know,
they just toss your salad.
they have that. He's like, all right, come on, get up on the counter. Right?
You would know if you're ever going to eat a dude's ass. I would say not a black dude, and not because I'm racist, but just because if there's shit, you wouldn't be able to see it as good. I need contrast to know.
You don't want to eat Subway before.
No, you don't eat a lot of vegetables before somebody's going to go down on your ass.
Yeah.
Vegetables tend to like blow back out the other end. You ever take a shit after you eat a salad, and you could almost just make a whole salad out of what you shit? It's like there's the tomato, there's, the only thing that digested was the crouton or whatever, however you say it. I said that weird. Crouton. This is the only thing that digests, and it's the bad part of the salad for you. All the good shit comes right out. But, so anyway.
Your body's like, fuck that, come on. Get that shit you had
Maybe it's just
for lunch.
because my body's not used to salads. It's like, the fuck? This is poison. Send it out.
Like, oh, mulch this up.
Eating trees? Yeah. So
Somebody's feeding him shit that he's not supposed to.
Yeah. So Jesse's walking down the street to get a salad. And these two dudes, or I think he said at first, like one dude comes out with the Make America Great whatever hat. And he's like, hey, Empire. And he's like, and I didn't answer to that because that's not my name. Really?
He said it like that?
You're on a very popular show. You're walking down a street. I'm assuming not a lot of people are out at the time.
Did you watch something that he like was talking?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, you're reading and gay.
Yeah.
You're like, You're like, so anyways.
So and the guy's like, Empire. And he's like, I didn't answer because that's not my name. And it's like, you would answer because you're not big, super famous, where it's like, Tom Cruise doesn't like being like, whatever, show me the money. He's like, you're a low-level guy. You hear somebody like, oh, he likes my show, So, and then the guy's like, hey, I think he says, every time I've heard it's been bleeped out. But I know one of the things is faggot, and the other one, I assume racist.
You got to watch out what you say on here. No, you don't.
But he says something. It's like, hey, something Empire, and it's like it's something negative towards him.
Motherfucking Empire.
It could be, or stupid faggot, or whatever. Salad tossing. I doubt that. Yeah, I wonder if he tossed the salad to run.
It's like salad beep Empire, and you're like, what was the next word?
Yeah, right? It could have been dressing, salad dressing Empire. So anyway, so the guy comes up and like hits him. And then he's like, and then I hit him back. And he says it all tough.
It's probably like
wait till you hear, dude. I'm telling you the story.
When I hit the guy in the face, it probably sounded like a queef.
I'm telling you the story, and you don't. It's crazy.
All right, go.
Everybody listening knows this.
Okay.
So the guy kicks him. Then another guy starts kicking him in the back. Then they run off.
He got tag teamed by 2 dudes.
Yes.
In a dark alley.
Yeah.
It's probably been his fucking dream since he was a kid. Right? He starts pulling down his pants. Right? And then,
Call me a faggot. So and then they run off. He like gets his phone. He'd been on the phone with his manager, and he's like, man, some guys jumped me. And then he realizes there's a noose around his neck.
What the fuck? How do you realize?
Okay, you're starting to see this. And he said they poured something on him. He thought it was bleach. You'd know if it was bleach. It's hard to breathe. Okay, so anyway, he turns all this.
Where did they get bleach?
They just had it.
They just had a noose.
They were out
had bleach.
Yeah, they were just walking down.
They were just walking down the street.
They going to wash their noose
at like 3 a.m. in Chicago with a noose.
They were going to wash their noose. And then they saw an opportunity to pull off a hate crime. So anyway,
wow.
So there's all this news. He goes and he does some live performance like a few days later, and he talks like he's all triumphant. He's like, I fought the fuck back.
A live performance of what?
I think he is a performer, like a singer or something too.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you know the type. Gay, sings, dances, good looking,
Do I?
He's got it all going for him.
I don't think I do. One time.
You don't know anybody like that, do you?
No, I don't.
So,
I don't know anyone with any of those same
like
abilities.
Dick Van Dyke, you know? He's like a triple threat, and clearly Dick Van Dyke was gay. Right?
Dyke and Dick in the same word.
I mean, besides the fact that he had that name, like, he was just that smile, you know?
Yeah.
That smile is a smile you can only get when you've satisfied a man with your hands or mouth or ass. Imagine ass sex in the 40s was gross. I don't know why.
I mean, I think it still is.
Inferior toilet paper and stuff. So anyway, he's doing this thing, and he's like, and I fought the fuck back. He's telling his story. And then he calls himself the gay Tupac. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the correlation there. Did he rap? I don't know. So anyway, people start to think, like, this story doesn't make sense. Well, it turns out he made it all up. He didn't make it up. He paid those guys to beat him up.
Why can't he just...
You don't know my favorite
say they
part?
did.
Well, you know what my favorite part? The guys are black.
Really?
The hate crime, Donald Trump.
Were they real people?
Yeah, it was like his...
Why can't he just say, like, oh, no, they were white, right? Or, oh, they were black, whatever.
I think he was going to say they were white.
No, why did he have to actually pay someone to actually beat him up?
He could have just banged his head on the wall.
Yeah. Why can't he just
like,
be bitten up, beat up, batten up?
We're having trouble conjugating verbs.
Bait up.
He does want to get baited up.
Anyways, why couldn't he have just been like, you know, whatever?
No, hit your head on the wall a few times. Say some white guy kicked my ass. End of story. That's what I would have done.
Save your money, right?
So he paid. So one of them was like his trainer.
Noose?
The noose was crazy. You know, when he was setting it up with the dudes, he's like, bring a noose. And they're like, but why? And he's like,
what if I get like seen with it? What am I going to tell people?
Walk around with a noose and a jug of bleach? What can I possibly tell people I'm doing?
Yeah.
There's no use for those two things together.
Like, I don't know, just hanging out, washing clothes, right?
Yeah. Even the Klan is like, what? They're like, the noose I get. The bleach. No, to keep the sheets.
Yeah, they're washing the sheets.
That does make sense. It really, actually, this dude may be smarter than me. I mean, I would have just banged my head on the door and been like, white guys.
Let's just see.
So, I guess he did like a police report, and they were like, what do the guys look like? And he said, I couldn't really tell because they were all bundled up because it was cold.
He falsified a police report.
Oh, yeah, he's in trouble, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
this is getting good.
Yeah.
It would have been 12 minutes ago.
Well, we had to tell Jeffrey. Jeffrey was the gay guy.
Jeffrey, that is him. Ah, yeah.
Gay-ass name, too. Like, Jeffrey. You know,
it was
G-O-E or whatever, G-E-O.
Joffrey.
Yeah. So, anyway.
It probably is now.
Yeah. He's got to be dead, right? Like, 15 years ago, he was pretty old. And
AIDS.
Yeah.
I mean, AIDS set in 20 years ago.
I think he's ugly enough that he can't, nobody has, like, fucked him. He just blows a bunch of dudes because he's always bragging about how good he is at it. What if he wasn't? Yeah, what if he's really not? You're like, there's no plus side to being here. Like, you're ugly, you're gross, you stink, and you suck dick bad.
You're like, well, and they're like, well, at least I got $20. He didn't pay me.
Yeah. And
he has to pay.
And he made pretty good cinnamon rolls. I'm not gonna lie. But so the Jussie dude. So I guess they asked for like a description. He was like, I don't know, like big, because I guess they had like ski masks on because it's like 20 below up there, so people just wear that. So, but he's
like 5'11", black. They're like, right?
You know the type. Black guys walk around with nooses and MAGA hats. They're like, He said that at one point they were like, this is MAGA country. And it's like downtown Chicago, like the heart of like where Obama served office.
They poured bleach on him? Like, wouldn't his hair have turned like, you know?
Yeah, well, fuck your hair up. If it gets in your eyes, it's real bad. Just breathing in too much bleach can like damage your lungs.
Drinking it from a cup?
Yeah, I did that once.
Anyway.
I drank a little bleach. And it was a hate crime. My stepmom poisoned me.
She probably had a noose. You just didn't know what it was at the time, right?
I'm like, cool rope, Mom. And she's just like dumping bleach down my gullet.
You're like, what's that hat? Make America Great Again. Right?
25 years ago. She's so racist. She like started it. She looks like Donald Trump too.
She's
when
like
she was
Trump's
alive.
nanny, right?
She actually, when she was alive, towards the end of her life, looked like what Donald Trump looks like now. But yeah, so he said what they look like, and then I guess they found surveillance from some store nearby that showed what happened because they really beat him up. And it was like, did you like black dudes? Not only were they black, they were like Nigerian or something.
At first he said they were white?
I don't think he said. I think he just said, like, he gave a physical description, like this tall, this, about this much weight.
I thought he was going to be like, they're white. And they're like, well, it shows in the video they're black. He's like, I'm colorblind.
He's like, I don't see color. I'm not racist. But, yeah, so he paid, and then it's like, he paid him with a check. It's like $3,500. But see, one of them was like his personal trainer. So it's like, yeah, of course I pay him. He like helps me work out or whatever. So I guess he thought he could cover it that way. I don't know. I mean, I feel like...
So your trainer beat you up?
Yes.
And had a noose?
He must have been racist. All this time, like, making me do sit-ups, and he was just like, I fucking hate him. Black guys with their toned out. Well, he's black too. Never mind.
That's all.
His story.
None of it makes sense.
It's really. I was even thinking of the guy being.
I know
white.
the bleach and the KKK sheets.
Oh, the best part, possibly. So he leaves there.
20 minutes in.
I don't think he filed a. I don't think he called the cops right away. Maybe his manager did or something. So I guess he went somewhere, and when he got there, he still had the noose around his neck. He was just chilling. I think he wanted that. I think. Here's what I think. I think that he wanted... Okay, so if that really happened to him, he'd be like this big hero for...
He wants somebody to, like, take a picture of it?
Yeah, I think he wanted that to be like the iconic, like Colin Kaepernick kneeling,
And it just didn't work.
MLK in front of the fucking reflecting pond thing. I have a dream. Like an iconic view.
Oh,
like when you think of Martin Luther King Jr., you think of like him with his suit on and he's like, you could see his chest is puffed up. He's like yelling into a microphone. Like there's iconic images, and he wanted his to be like a bleached down noose around his neck. I don't know. I feel like if he'd had me on his corner, he would be like reaping the benefits right now. I mean, look, I'm white, but I'm not gonna beat you up. Mm-hmm. Like, here's what you do: come over to your house. I just like hold your back of your head and just slam your doorknob into your face a few times. It's gonna hurt. Trust me. It's gonna suck. Whatever. But you're gonna be all fucked up, and then. I'm going to do that. You're going to wear a hoodie and all that. And you're going to leave and go out somewhere and then just fall over like that. Make sure there's no cameras and shit like that. And that's it. There's no other.
I don't think anything like that's going to get away.
Do you think, what if he did it at his house?
Hold on. They're so good right now that they're better with technology than we know of.
But he had too much detail. If you take all that detail out, I think you get away with it.
No. I think there's ways the government or whatever can find us without us knowing yet. All right?
They're not looking for gay black dudes.
No, what I think of is if they wanted to, if they have like reasonable like issues of why they need to look
like you might be a terrorist.
Your phone being in your pocket. They can track that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got satellite cameras and go down and just like find where you last were and then follow you.
But there would be no reason to even look into it. So he sees you
go over to his house. All this shit happens, then he runs and lays down in the yard and calls the cops.
No, but what I'm saying is,
and then they're like,
I'm not saying all of a sudden I'm like beating on his door and he's like, who are you? I'm like, I'm going to help you get it. No, I'm saying like, if you're somebody in his life, then you got to guide him in a direction that is, don't get it to be black dudes, for one. For one thing, even if real actual...
He fucked up on a lot of levels.
But really, let's say that it was all real. And these black dudes really hated black gay people. And they loved Donald Trump, and they did it, and everything happened. The story wouldn't like resonate the same because they're black dudes. It'd be like, yeah, I mean, I get that it's like it's shitty, but you want it to be white guys with that haircut. You know what I mean? You want it to. There's a certain like aesthetic that this scenario.
They're in like a big jacked up truck.
Yeah, something like that. It can't be black dudes. It fucks the whole thing up. If I would say this, if I was Jesse and I was and that thing happened, these black dudes kicked the shit out of me, and it was like, oh, you're a faggot, whatever, I would just say it was white guys.
I forgot he was gay.
I would just say it's white guys. Even though I saw that it's black people, and it's all real, I didn't set none of it up, I'd be like, these fucking, I mean, they were white guys. And then if it ever comes down to like, well, we found it, we proved it, they're black, and like, fuck, man, they hit me hard. I don't know. I was thinking white. And like, I don't know. I'm a black dude getting beat up. I just assume white. You know what I mean? Them being black is bad. The noose thing is weird. The bleach is weirder. Eating a salad at Subway at 2 in the morning is odd. If you're going to eat at fast food at 2 in the morning, you're not the kind of guy that gets a salad. You know what I mean? I'm surprised they even make them that late.
So
now I guess he's going to be in like some type of trouble.
But why would he do that at all? He had the show.
Well, my thing is, I think that he was getting written out of the show, or either that, or he wanted, and he thought that if he became like big, like that big, like whatever icon in the news or whatever, that then it would be like his name would have some heat, and they would want him in the show to, you know what I mean? You know
They're killing him off the show or what?
They were either killing him off, or he wasn't getting paid as much, or he was getting written into less and less scenes, or something. I don't know. I just know that he faked a hate crime and got caught. And so the problem is, so there's these interviews of him that happened after the incident, but before it came out that it wasn't real, and it's like embarrassing. He's like talking all brave about how he fought back, and then he's like,
so these are coming out as he's already been like, okay, I lied.
I know. I don't think he has said he lied.
Oh,
I think actually he's been charged with whatever, like falsifying a report or obstruction of justice, maybe, whatever it is. And I think he's pled not guilty. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I get all my news late because I learned most of it off of podcasts, and sometimes I'll listen to podcasts like weeks after they came out. But yeah, so he's pled not guilty from what I understand. So he's like, no, these black racist guys really did, and it's like, come on, man, you paid them. Yeah. And he's like, well, I didn't know I was paying them to beat me up. I was paying them for working out. And maybe that's what they call working out. You know, when Rocky was doing sit-ups and that just hit him in the stomach? Maybe he just thought it was that. They're just kicking the shit out of him while he's doing sit-ups and calling him, like, racist and or... I don't know that... The reason I was, like, hesitant about the racist thing, I don't know that it came out that they were saying anything racist. But, I mean, I would assume...
I'm going to have to end up seeing, like...
Yeah, you're going to have to look into it. But, yeah, so that was...
Anything else in the news? You made it sound like there's like all this news buzz going on.
What else?
We didn't Google news before this.
Did you see the YouTube thing about little kids?
No.
Momo?
What?
Momo. To me, Momo is like what you call a gay person. Like, not gay, like really gay, but you know, gay, like, I gotta lock my doors. Like, I'm scared.
Well, it's because it sounds like homo.
Yeah, Momo and homo is like synonymous. But, so if you go to, you know how like on YouTube and you watch like a video and then it's like there's next and it's like they're kind of related? Mm-hmm. So like there's kids YouTube channels, right? Kids go on YouTube now. Okay. Like, so parents put their kids in front of that instead of Disney Channel or something. And it'll be like, I don't know if it's even real, but it'd be like in the middle of the video, it's like it's spliced in. It's like this scary looking face. And it says like, hold on, I got it right. I got a picture.
It's on the kids channel?
Yeah, it's like
I think my kids watch that stuff.
If I understand it correctly, that's the face.
Okay.
And it kind of looks like.
I saw something like that on Facebook or something like that. It kind of looks like
your wife's sister, a little bit.
But no, I've seen that picture somewhere before.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's saying something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to it real quick.
And then what? It's scaring these kids.
Like, it's real creepy. Like, it's like threatening them and saying if you tell your mom, we'll kill her or something.
And they can't get them removed or what?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that some people are saying it was a hoax. 5-year-old boy calls 911 after seeing Momo.
Just look up Momo. I don't care about the news about it.
I'm looking it up. Oh. Apparently it's hard to find because some people think it's not real. All right, here, we're watching the video. It's hard to say if the following video was made before.
How long is the video? I don't want to take fucking forever.
Hold on, dude. It's 2 minutes. Listen. I'm reading what it says. Here's the video my mother-in-law sent to me. Viewer discretion is advised. So our listeners can't see it, so it doesn't matter. It's a little girl making ice cream or something.
Oh, I see it.
I had to cut a chunk of this out because it was too graphic. What a faggot.
Come on.
It gave direct instructions. Okay, we read fast. Violated community guidelines and was removed.
Red stuff coming out. Remember that this is the easy and fun way. If you don't do it, Mama will come get you while you sleep.
Dude.
That's creepy.
All right, that's you get it though, right?
I hope my kids don't see something like
Dude,
that.
it would fuck my son up, like bad. It's this creepy face, and it's like I don't know how well you can hear it, but basically
that weird shit in the back.
Yeah, that Twilight Zone little swirly thing. So basically, if you couldn't hear it, it was like my mouse says, "Do what I tell you, or I'm gonna come get you when you're sleeping." And it cut out a section of it and said it was too graphic. Ugh.
And then it come back saying something about the red stuff.
The red stuff coming out, and
I guess it's blood.
yeah.
Probably saying something like to go kill your mom or something, right?
Yeah, I think it says stuff like that. So, but some people are saying it was a hoax, that it wasn't really, like, so it came out, people saying, like, Momo's on these videos. So some people are saying that was a hoax, like, it wasn't really attached to any kid videos. Some people just started saying that, like, as a hoax. So now they're like, well, you can find them now, but that's because after the hoax, then people made them as a, you know what I mean? So I don't know if it was really on there or not, but if my son is 4, and if he was sitting there watching like a Paw Patrol video or something, and that came on, it would fuck him up. He's a really sensitive kid too, like real, you know how he is. Like Alex is kind of the same.
Yeah.
Like things kind of get to him.
Well, I mean, I know they both my kids watch them. He's about to be 7, she's 4. So, I mean, I know they both watch videos on YouTube or whatever, you know, and they go to the kid ones.
If I was you, I wouldn't let the girl watch them. She seems like she might kill anyway.
Yeah,
she seems a little
the knives
evil.
up.
Yeah,
like all of them.
But it's funny because like when me and him were just watching now, it's like, yeah, you see, like it's creepy for sure. And I was just imagining like my son sitting there, like I said, watching like fucking Paw Patrol or something, and then that's like it's talking. What makes it creepy is that it's talking directly to the viewer. It's like, hey, remember last time I said, and it's like, yeah, that would fuck a little kid up. Now, if you're 12 or 13 and you see it and you get scared,
that's pretty creepy, man.
It is creepy, but I'm saying, like...
It kind of seems like there'd be a movie about that.
There will.
No, I don't mean talking about the incident where there was a YouTube thing. I'm just saying, like...
Oh, like a Momo, like
it is its own, like, entity on online or whatever.
Yeah, like...
Online.
What's the movie called?
Online.
Truth or Dare.
Really?
Have you seen that?
I saw one... Yeah, I think so. But I've seen one where, like, someone keeps calling, and it's, like, at first it's, like... It's a pretty decent movie where it's, like... Go and do this, and we'll put $100 in your account.
Oh, nice.
And the guy gets it. And the options start getting worse. But it's like, if you do these 13 things, at the end, you're going to have, like, $4 million.
I'd do it.
Right? At the end of it, it's, like, really, really bad shit. Like, he has to take this dead guy that's been in his apartment for 2 weeks and, like, set him at the donut shop.
What if you don't have a dead guy in your apartment?
And cops walk in. So he's got a dead guy sitting right there. And he's, like, had to order him coffee.
Did he drink it?
And no, he's not drinking the coffee.
He's dead.
So he had to, like, order, but there's, like, cops in there. And then, like, he has to do it by a certain time or else he loses everything he's already done.
That reminds me of something.
Pretty fucking good movie. It just came out recently, so I'm sure you haven't seen it.
I have, definitely.
Y'all are, like, in the Stone Age.
Dude, speaking of movies and me being in the Stone Age.
Normally, whenever, like, I'm like, hey, this is a good movie. You're like, yeah, we'll watch it. Years later, you see it for the first time.
Well, anyway, so we watched Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes, that was good.
And it was, like, so good. I don't know if it's just because I like...
After you watched it, did you feel like you were just a poor boy from a poor family? Right?
I felt like Galileo. I don't even know why they say that.
I don't know, but I like how that movie, like, opened my eyes to how many fucking, like, great songs they do.
So you didn't know that those were Queen songs?
I didn't know all of those were. I knew some of them were, but I didn't, like the, what's it called? Where they're like...
Oh, yeah. You're all offbeat.
Right?
Yeah, We Will Rock You.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That song alone, like, I've always thought this for as long as I knew about Queen. So, like...
On that one... Sorry, spoiler alert, people, but on that one scene where that guy is, like, they're all, like, fighting or whatever, you know? And that dude's like, hey, why don't we just, let's, you know? And he starts doing that.
Yeah, he's like, what if we did?
Yeah. And they're like, okay. And we're like, that way we can get the audience involved. And I was like, fuck, yeah, that's awesome.
Like, how influential is that band? And, like, I always knew that Freddie Mercury was, like, a badass. Like, I always thought of him as, like when I thought of, like, a real fucking rock star, I thought of Freddie Mercury. Because, think about this, like, just some little fucking British, Pakistani, whatever he is, gay dude. Every football game plays his songs. Like everybody in the fucking crowd knows his song. I know it's the band song or whatever, but they stomp and clap and then when their team wins, when our team won the championship last year, we were like, hold on, and we got on our phones and played "We Are the Champions."
That song won or it was like top of the charts or whatever.
Oh,
it was like top of the charts or whatever when it first came out in the late 70s or 80s, whenever it was.
yeah.
And then 16 years later, and then in the 90s, they brought it back out.
No, Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's what it was?
That's the song that...
When they brought it back out 16 years later, it became number one again.
You know why?
No.
It didn't say it in the movie, and I think I'm right about this. When Wayne's World came out...
Oh, yeah.
When they were making Wayne's World, they wanted that scene, and they wanted to do Bohemian Rhapsody, and I think they had to pay a lot of money to get the rights at the time. Freddie Mercury was dead by then? He died like in 91. When did Wayne's World come out? It had to be after that, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, they had to get the rights, and they were like, well, they'll let us use whatever. Because I guess what happened was...
Died in 94, I think.
He died in 91, I'm almost positive.
Okay, anyways.
So anyway, let's see who knows more about gay AIDS.
Gades?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they should have named it. I mean, come on.
The movie, they should have named it Gay AIDS. But, so, I guess Queen, if they're like, if you want to use a Queen song, use, like, one of their newer songs, you know?
Queen, of course.
Such a good name for a band, though, especially with a gay dude in it.
Yeah.
And they're British.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they really are one of the greatest bands.
Yeah.
So anyway, and they wanted to use Bohemian Rhapsody, and I guess Queen wanted them to use a different song. They had to pay a lot of money. And then, of course, it's like this epic scene, if you like Wayne's World, where they're in the car and they're doing the singing, whatever. And it made, because the soundtrack of that movie was so popular, it made the fucking song itself back on the charts. And it's such a good... I remember when I was a little kid, and it was like, Wayne's World was like a hot movie at the time. And my cousin, who was like my cool older cousin, he's like 4 or 5 years older, he was always like the coolest guy. He was telling me one time, because I didn't know, I just listened to what my parents listened to. And he's like, you gotta listen to good music. And I was like, what's good? And he's like, come here. You know, and he's like, and I remember specifically being like 7 or 8 years old and listening to Bohemian Rhapsody, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that guy's voice is so like booming, and then when it cuts to like the opera part, it's like
country.
It's so different to hear that like opera beat coming in and out. Then it goes back into like mother. I was like, I remember thinking at the time like, oh, I've been wrong. Like I didn't know this existed.
It's cool that the what's his name? You know, that played Wayne's World. What's his name? Mike Myers?
Yeah, he was in
that movie.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he's the one that told him you can't use that.
Yeah. You think that that's the reason... Do movies go that deep? That's why they wanted him to play that part? Because his only purpose in the movie, really...
I don't know if he looked like the guy that was that. Yeah.
His purpose was to reject the song that, of course, he made famous again later. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but yeah, that movie was so good. The dude who played it, like I said... If you look at side-by-side pictures of Live Aid, like taken from backstage, there's a picture where like Freddie is like doing something. I don't know how he's doing, but it's exact in the movie, and it looks exactly the same. Except I'm pretty sure the real Freddie Mercury would have kicked that dude's ass. He looked way bigger.
Yeah.
Or licked his ass, whatever he was into.
I don't know if this guy's gay. That guy definitely was.
But yeah, Freddie Mercury, like I said, I always knew of him as like just like the ultimate rock star, just because you can't deny those songs. Like some of their big hits where everybody knows them. My son knows those songs. He's 4.
I like how like one of the first parts when they accept him into the band, he's their new singer, right? And he's up there and he's singing his own way, and they're like, just sing it like it's, because it was throwing everything off.
Yeah.
Because he was just like all over the place and throwing his head back, and like he was having fun with it.
Yeah, he was a natural performer.
And they just weren't used to that because the other guy just stood there.
Yeah.
But when he's watched the other one, when he was a fan of the band, and what was it, like Smile or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, or
Queen's
whatever it
so
was.
much, but they're both gay names.
He was the other guy just like stood there in front of the mic and played the guitar and sang, and when they were like asked him if he plays guitar, and he's like, no. He's like, no, I don't do that. Like, this is my job. This is all I do. Right?
But on the first scene where he's on stage, he has like a tambourine. And I remember I was watching with my wife, and I was like, it's like the gay, like they're like, let's find a gay instrument. And he's just like, ting, ting, ting. And then eventually he has like, I guess, I don't know if it's
piano's second.
I don't know if it's like
piano's the second gayest. I mean,
but
maybe
the
flute,
little short mic stand thing that he holds. Mm-hmm. In the movie on that first,
I like when he couldn't get the thing over there, so he just like carried it with him.
And I wonder if in real life that's why because in real life at his concert that's what he used.
He always carried a little thing.
He had that little short piece. If you see if you ever watched their performance at Live Aid, which I've seen a bunch of times, that's what he's got. It's like this little, it's like 3 feet long. But I wonder if that's really the reason in real life is that he was trying to get it out in his first performance and it broke. I don't know.
And then from that, he just liked doing it.
But I did look up, like I always do on true story movies, because I knew very little about him or the band.
Yeah,
I just knew their songs, knew he was gay. I knew about when he died because I kind of remembered it. But so I looked up how true was the movie, and a lot of it was like he was actually in a band before them where he sang. Mm-hmm. Like for a little while and off and on. He was a real big fan of their band and followed them everywhere and knew them well. And like his girlfriend like had dated another guy in the band first, like weird little stuff like that. But the main thing that was different was they didn't break up. They didn't get back together just in time for Live Aid. None of that. They never broke up. Mm-hmm. Leading up to Live Aid, they had been on a tour. So that's why their performance there was so good, was because they were like sharp. It wasn't like we hadn't seen Freddie in years and he comes back and it's like they put on the greatest show of all time. That's not none. I don't know why they did that in the movie. I guess it made
they had like 2 weeks of practice.
He was just coming down with a little case of the AIDS.
They never broke up?
No, they never broke up. In fact, I think they said that there was a time, it may have even been after that Live Aid performance, where they took some time off as a band together because they'd been touring for like 10 years straight. Mm-hmm. And so but they never broke up. He never like went off on his own or betrayed him or anything. He did have a skeevy manager type like the dude in the movie that he did fire, but it wasn't for that. It was for leaking stories to the press about him, like gay stuff or whatever, you know. And that dude also died from AIDS around the same time he did.
Probably he got from him.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they shared AIDS. He's like, is this your AIDS or my AIDS? Let's share.
Our AIDS.
Yeah. Yeah, their AIDS are like mingling. His AIDS are like high class AIDS. They're like too good for the other guy's AIDS. Yeah. I've made enough AIDS jokes that if I ever get it, I'll be like, oh, okay. Like, I had that one coming. But AIDS is the best disease. It's the best disease to make jokes about because it's like, it's so like that name recognition. AIDS. Good, hard sounding name. Everybody knows what it means. You can't be like hepatitis C. It takes
There's
too long.
people that have it that like are treated and they're
Magic Johnson's had it for like seriously for like 30 years. Well, I don't know, since like I think 91 he got it. I guess it wasn't quite 30 years ago, but yeah. So Magic Johnson, he probably didn't really have it. He probably just tired of playing basketball. He's like, I don't know, tell him I'm sick. And like his manager guy just said AIDS. He's, you know, somebody's like, just say something, and you're trying to think of what you. And they're like, so what does he have? And you're trying to think.
He was like, he was watching the news and it was saying something about AIDS. That's like the only sickness that's coming to mind.
Yeah, he's like,
and he's like, it's been too long. It's been too long. They're gonna say something AIDS, right? And then like it comes across like, oh my god, you're like, why the fucking tell Howard Cosell or that or whatever,
Yeah.
or whatever.
I meant the flu or something. I just didn't want to do this interview.
Oh,
so he
shit.
just he had to save face and just like pretend he's had AIDS for the last 30 years.
Yeah, he's like, well, I can't say my fucking manager's a liar. Right?
He's like, people are going to start wondering, Magic, you're getting fat.
He's like, fuck, I can never fuck a girl again. Right? He's like, I fucked a lot before.
I mean,
So I guess that's why they believe it was AIDS.
Yeah. But you can't really get AIDS from a chick. You know that, right?
What do you mean?
So like when I was in I seriously just almost said special ed. What is it called? Sex ed. That was like a Freudian slip.
Special sex ed.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah. Dude, special sex ed. Dude, yeah, you're in there with a bunch of fucking tards learning about, you know, dicks and cooters. They're like, all right, class, read from the book. He's like, you put the penis in the vagina. You know, dude, special sex ed needs to be like a Comedy Central show. A bunch of retards learning about. Oh shit! You just see them putting the condoms on the bananas. They're just condom shooting everywhere. One guy peels the banana first, then puts the condom on.
Which eats it. Oh shit.
So anyway, when I was in fucking sex, I almost said it again. When I was in sex ed, when I was like in 6th or 7th grade, they made it seem like sex just resulted in AIDS. Like, well, yeah, if you have sex, then you'll get AIDS. Like, I was under the impression that there was a good chance I would get AIDS the first time I had sex. I still wanted to have sex. What does that tell you? Like, kids are horny motherfuckers. I was like, I'm going to die a few years.
There's a 99.9% chance I'm going to get AIDS if I fuck her. I'm like, look at that.
I'm going to fuck her twice. Right? I'm going to fuck her twice. Right? What's the chances on that, Doc? Yeah, so I remember specifically a teacher telling me, they explained it to me this way. They said, if you were to extrapolate it out, a condom, like the pores, you know, everything, nothing's completely solid. So like the little pores in a condom, if you were to make them the size of a football field, that's one hole in a condom, then the size of the AIDS virus is the size of a football. So I was like, so they're pointless. Yeah. A football hitting a football field. I can hit that from a fucking, well, I can't throw that far. I can hit that from like 30 yards away. You can just punt and it's going to land on the field somewhere. Mm-hmm. So if you use a condom, you're going to get AIDS in there. So that was what
So what size is a sperm cell in that?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
The story had holes in it bigger than the condom. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but we were just kids.
You're like, the holes in the pores, are they like square or rectangle? You know what I mean? Like,
are they long?
Are they, you know?
What if I hit it doggy style and they turn sideways, therefore less likely to... But I remember because you had to write in questions to the teacher when it was over, like if you were too embarrassed to ask or whatever. Really, it was more for her sake because we weren't embarrassed at all, and we would ask crazy questions. Mm-hmm. Every year, somebody asks if you can get pregnant from a blowjob, and
like, have you had sex? She's like, yes. Do you have AIDS? She's like, no. We're like,
that's what I want. That's what I said. One of my questions was, why? Like I remember saying like, this class makes it seem as though sex isn't worth it. Like, if that's the case, then like, why does it? You know what I mean? Like, why does everybody get married and have kids? Like, everybody has sex. But they try to scare you into thinking that you should just find somebody you love, settle down with them, marry them, and then have sex. That's what they want. Because it's all like religion pushing it.
Like, why? Because I'm going to get married to someone that gave me AIDS?
Yeah. So they make it seem like it's more likely that you could contract all these diseases and stuff. But then I found out when I was an adult.
What they should have done is show a slideshow of whores.
Yes.
Right? And be like, stay away. And so you're like...
You're in the back of the
You're like, I just can't.
Stay away from me, because my elbow's flying wildly around.
There's like girls in the classroom like watching this like blowing dudes in it. It's just because you got fucking porn on there.
So
she's like, I'm gonna give you all a coffee to take home with you. Right?
You just said I'm jerking off. Oh shit! I remember when you're a kid, you're so horned up that you remember when they would show you those pictures. It was also in sex ed that would show what like herpes and shit looks like on. Like it would show a picture of a dick with herpes and a pussy with herpes. I'd be like, I don't know, it's not bad. Like you don't ever get to see a pussy at that age. It's not like nowadays when you got all this porn. When we were kids, like it was harder to see that kind of stuff. You gotta think about when I was in like 6th, 7th grade, you're talking about like the mid-90s. You know what I mean? So when they showed me a picture, I remember thinking like, of course it looked gross. It was supposed to. But I could like in my mind take all the sores off of it and see what it's supposed to look like. You know what I mean?
But some Photoshop in your head.
Right? Yeah. I would take all those sores off, put them on the dick so I didn't have to see it at all. Yeah. But I found out when I got older, like by looking into it and even asking doctors and shit, it's almost impossible for a man to catch AIDS from a woman through vaginal sex. It just doesn't happen. Gay people get it, and the reason gay people get it is because you're more likely to catch it through anal sex because your asshole bleeds real bad.
Oh.
You know, it just does.
Ugh.
And I guess gay dudes' dicks get cut up more because them assholes are tight.
Dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what the doctor said.
Yeah.
You know? And so he said, like, yeah, if you're a heterosexual man who doesn't use, like, whatever, drugs, whatever, like shooting up, and it really, I guess you could catch it through anal sex with women if they have it or you have it. If you have it and you fuck them in the ass, they get it and they can give it
But
back.
she's on her period.
That doesn't hurt you,
No,
does
she's
it?
bleeding.
Oh, because her blood could get in your pee hole?
I mean, I guess, right?
I don't know. I just know what I was told by in a bunch of sources. Is it like, yeah. They said that what was it?
Is it like going away or what?
I think it's going away to some extent, but also it's become so treatable now that it's not the epidemic. See, like in the 80s and 90s, I saw this documentary, and there was this gay guy talking, and he was like, you know, like he was in his heyday of fucking in like the late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like...
Heyday?
Yeah. He was like, he's like, all my friends are dead. Like he had this huge group of like, you know, they went out and partied.
They're like, you fucked all your friends?
He fucked them to death. He was immune. He's like the Thanos. He just like snapped off a load and like all his friends died. Yeah.
Oh shit.
But that's what he said. He's like our whole scene. Like he had all these friends, like 40, 50 friends that they would go to parties and shit like this. Like he said he said he's been to like 60 funerals. It just wiped them because they didn't even know what the fuck was happening. Mm-hmm. It was just like,
how quick was it?
I think back then, sometimes it would be pretty quick because they didn't know what the fuck was going on. And also the treatment they gave them, it was some medicine. Remember that movie where Matthew McConaughey's all skinny and he has AIDS? He's like a cowboy. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, well, like Dallas Buyers Club?
Yeah. So the medicine that they talk about in that, I can't remember what it's called now. But that's what they were giving them, and it was bad for you. It didn't help, and it made them sicker. So people died pretty quick, and because they were gay, and it was only gay people.
They weren't strong and giant because they're weak. Oh shit! They weren't like a man about it.
Little limp wrist got the AIDS. That's where the AIDS gets in.
Oh shit!
That limp wrist. Dude, that was funny. No, because they were gay, they didn't get the it's hard to imagine especially if you're a young person now. But like
too much vitamin D, right?
They overdosed on vitamin D.
Oh shit.
But like if you're a young person now, like in your teens and early 20s, you don't really understand. Because now if it's like there's something happening in the gay community, we need help. People would like send money, and back then they were definitely not mainstream. Mm-hmm. The whole gay community was like, it was like even the president, like they knew what was going on with AIDS, like in the government, they weren't even speaking out because they needed to release some big thing. Hey, stop fucking in the ass. If you're gay, use condoms. They could have done that back in like 1982 and prevented a lot of those deaths, but they just kind of like, man, it's just fags. I think really people had the idea that like it was kind of a good thing.
They're like, you're just gonna kill off all the gays.
They thought it was like God because God hates gays, and now they're just fucking dying and like, you know, in fucking record numbers. They're like, this is clear. Like, if you're a religious person,
they're like, what else do we not like? They're
like, God hated people that cheated on their wives. We're all fucked.
They're like, blacks. They're like the sickle cell thing, right?
And as it turns out, black people are more likely to contract HIV.
What the hell?
I think it's the big dicks. It tears up more. I mean, what else would it be? What else would it be? Why else? I mean, I couldn't imagine that black people are more likely to have anal sex than white people, right? Seems like that's more of a white thing.
Hold on.
Doesn't it?
Maybe it's because they have less white blood cells.
Yeah, they have black blood cells.
Right?
Yeah.
Because don't you need white blood cells to kill them?
If that's really what it is, the scientists that discovered that wouldn't even release it because it's so racist.
He's like, hold on. Am I the first one to ever realize that they don't have white blood cells? Right? They got all these ones that are sitting around lazy.
It's like
they're like, they don't fight.
It's like the technical term in Latin just kind of sounds like porch cells or something.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but so the government didn't like really like they should have like spoke out about it, let things be, and they didn't. And so gay people were just fucking dropping everywhere, and it was just crazy. Like, because I watched that documentary and this guy was talking, and I tried to like put yourself in that mindset. Just imagine if you had like a big group of like-minded type of people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just say, like, just for the sake, like, let's just call it family, because like a lot of gay people, obviously, at that time, probably were shunned from their families. So what they called their family was their group of friends. So imagine everybody in your family, just every fucking couple of weeks, another one's dead, and another one's dead, and another one's dead, and you're like, what would you think? You're like, they're getting this disease, you know, they're getting whatever they called it at first, and then they found out it's like HIV, and it's like it attacks your immune system, and they just, like, these gators are just fucking falling out everywhere, and they don't know what the fuck's going on.
What's HIV mean?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I was thinking something funny if it had an F in it, but homo, no, I really don't know. It's human something.
It's a HIV AIDS, right?
HIV is the virus, and then it eventually turns into AIDS. It's
Transformer.
People say full-blown AIDS.
Full-blown AIDS.
Right? They always say that. But does the doctor
AIDS,
say that?
Right?
You go to the doctor,
they look into the chart, and they're like, looks like you've gotten full-blown AIDS.
Yeah.
Right? Shit!
Yeah. They're like, well, it shows here you're negative for the flu, and your cholesterol seems fine. Other than that, all you got to worry about is that full-blown AIDS. And other than that, you're perfectly healthy.
Yeah.
But,
we'll see you, or not, next week.
they're like, strangely enough, if you'd blown more guys, you wouldn't have AIDS.
Yeah.
'Cause I guess you can get AIDS in your mouth. I mean, I almost...
It's not like you just have AIDS, like, in your ear. You know what I mean? It's like you have AIDS
an inner AIDS
in your
infection.
bloodstream, which goes everywhere.
No, but I'm saying, can you catch it orally?
You're like, God damn it, I'm going to lose my ear, right? Because I got fucking AIDS. No, that's
Your ear
cancer.
gets all skinny.
That's cancer. Cancer moves slower.
No, but what I'm saying is, can you catch AIDS from sucking a dick?
I don't know.
They always say, like, what if there's a little cut in your mouth and whatever, but...
You're going to go find Jeffrey, right?
Yeah.
He's like, right?
He's skinny.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's say a guy comes up and he's like, definitely got AIDS.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, here's the thing. He's like, I'm going to have sex with you. Your only option is ass or mouth. Which one would you do? You know he's got AIDS. You go mouth, right?
Why do you have to be fucking this gay dude with AIDS?
He's stronger than you. The AIDS hasn't set in good yet.
He's stronger than, why doesn't he choose?
That's what I'm saying.
Why doesn't he choose?
Because he's a nice
Why do
guy.
I have to?
Because he's a nice guy. He comes from a good family. I mean, not good enough. He's gay.
I'm like, I don't want to. He's like, listen, right? You're gonna pick.
But you would blow him, right?
No.
You would let him fuck you in the ass.
I mean, that's gonna have to.
I feel like fucking you in the ass, you're for sure gonna catch the AIDS. Blowing you, at least when he leaves, you can, like, make yourself throw up all the jizz.
Mm-mm.
Or just be like, I like when they come on my chest. Just, like, you're aiming it away because you had a little scratch over here. I mean, I don't know. I'm
You're
just
gonna
saying.
fight him.
That's not an option. What I'm saying is, do you feel that it's more likely to catch it through your asshole or your mouth?
I don't know.
I feel like your mouth, you're less likely to catch it.
Unless you got like sores in there.
But even if you do, let's say you know you got a sore on your cheek on this side, you just try to hold it all on the other side. You know what I mean?
Dude.
But anyway, yeah, so AIDS is just a fun disease. Like, not to have, it's not funny that the people die or nothing like that, but it's fun to explore. Because our whole lifetime, it's been the one that it's like, oh, you'll just die. Remember when our cousin said that, like, people put needles in the seats at the theater?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I heard it happened. Nobody did that. But if they did, I mean,
Could Momo do that?
Momo's like, hey, kids, I've been out putting AIDS needles in seats, but I'm back. Kill your parents.
Yeah.
Or just convince them to go to the movies. You know? Like, Momo seems like a dick, but I don't think Momo's putting AIDS
Row
needles.
E, seat 12, right?
Yeah.
Just saying. Just gonna throw it out there.
But I remember our cousin was like checking the seats before he sit down, and I was like, dude, just sit down.
He's like, too late.
He checks my seat for me, and he gets stabbed with an AIDS needle. I'm like, thanks, bro. I sit down and watch
switch seats.
I'm like, dude, just sit here. You already have the AIDS.
Let's at least enjoy the movie. We paid for it, right?
Yeah, but there's
without taking the needle out, he just sits back down. He's like, I'm fucked anyways.
He's like, I could be gay now. I don't have to worry. But yeah, so I don't think, like, I guess some gay people still, like, get AIDS, but I think gay people are pretty much on, like, condoms. Mm-hmm. Like, they're just like, yeah, you just wear condoms.
Yeah, but that's like throwing a fucking football on a football field.
That was made up
Oh.
to make kids not fuck, and it didn't work. That's the most. It's like, if you fuck, you get AIDS. We still wanted to fuck. I still kind of remembered all that stuff.
Like, what if I go to theater? You get AIDS. Right?
Like, wait, what? If
Don't ever sit down on dicks or theater seats.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, if the teacher would have said, don't have gay sex, being gay directly can lead to you having AIDS, they wouldn't be wrong, because you are more likely to contract the disease if you're gay. But I feel like, do you think they were trying to be politically correct in a way by not saying that, by just saying sex in general? No, because they didn't give a fuck back then, right? Where I went to school, they did gay was bad. Like you were almost essentially if you were to say something like a gay joke that wasn't too offensive in words only, but it was just something gay is the punchline, the teacher would probably chuckle. That's just kind of where I went to school. It was racist too. If you said a racist joke, and it wasn't maybe a few teachers were different, but if you just said a racist joke and it wasn't too obscene, but it was the punchline is black people are stupid or something like that, the teacher would probably be there was no black people in our school. There were black people for miles where I went to school.
You're two gays and a black guy walking the.
Right? And I'm and the dumb teacher says, and she's go to your go to detention. But so AIDS is such a fucking. I almost have a passionate opinion about AIDS, because I still remember. I don't remember what it was called, but when I saw that documentary and that guy was talking about how he was just trying to relay the point that everybody died. This is a dude that was 27 or 25 or something, and went to funerals every week, and his friends just withered away, and it just fucking struck me, dude. It's
he had to be good at funerals.
Yeah, really good. You're just
He's hey, let's hurry up before we can get in this line. You know the line where you go and shake the family's hand.
Nobody in the family wants to shake your hand, though, because they're I think he's got it. Yeah.
They all fist bump like Howie Mandel, right?
Yeah. Oh, shit. So, I guess we can start wrapping this one up.
Yeah.
Gay people need to start doing.
I guess there's no plugs anymore?
No plugs. But, go leave a positive review.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dude, I was
on iTunes,
trying to think of a word.
Right. Anyways, go on iTunes, leave a review, whatever. Leave a comment, some kind of shit like that. And if you've never heard of it, go check out the Rogan Experience.
Yeah, he's got a pretty decent. Actually, if you like our podcast, and I can't imagine that you like ours and don't know about this, but Legion of Skanks, go look at them. They're fucking funny. They're along the same lines as us, although they are professional comedians. And
all of them or just one?
Yeah, all of them. But Legion of Skanks, if you like us, you'll like them. And if you have friends that like them but have never heard of us, tell them to check us out. I think there's a little bit of a crossover there. So,
but be careful, because they might have full-blown AIDS.
I'm sure a couple of them.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Legion of Skanks. They got to, right? Yeah. Legion of AIDS, right? Oh. Anyways, if any of them listen, fuck you. Right?
No, if they're listening, go leave a positive review.
Them?
I've reviewed theirs.
The Skanks?
Yeah.
No, still, fuck them.
No, yeah, fuck them. Yeah. But then after you're done fucking them, wipe your dick off on their back. Right? If you fuck, let's just say, okay, so they're dudes, obviously.
We're not going to end this.
no, I got just one quick point.
Okay.
So let's just say, your daughter wasn't 4. Let's say you had a daughter who was, late teens or early 20s, and she just started dating, Big J. Okerson. He's, one of the guys. And so you're like, oh, who's this new guy you're dating? And he's like, oh, he does a podcast called Legion of Skanks. You'd be like, what you would think twice about it. Or if your daughter's like, oh, I'm dating this new guy. What's his name? Whatever. Oh, he does this podcast called The Bad Vibe. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's awesome.
You're like, sounds hilarious.
It sounds like more, I don't know, more appropriate than Skanks.
Yeah.
Bad Vibe, it could be anything. It's not but it's not like they just talk about Skanks.
No.
You know, they are the Skanks.
No, they have a great origin story. Ours is kind of shady, but theirs was Big J, one of the guys, was married at one time and he cheated on his wife all the time. Mm-hmm. And it was everybody in the comedy scene knew, I guess.
I think you've told me this.
Yeah, so he wanted to go hang out with his friend Lewis, who's the other guy, And she's like, just go hang out with your legion of skanks. Because his wife just assumed he was going to fuck chicks. And they were like, and then as soon as she said that, they were like, dude, if we ever have a band, that's a great band name.
Yeah.
And then years later, they start a podcast, and it's Legion of Skanks. Perfect. It's kind of like our thing with Bad Vibe, where it was like awesome sounding. It was the name of stuff in our life for a while. And then we got a podcast, and it was
our apartment.
Yeah.
Our apartment was the Bad Vibe.
Yeah, and it earned it. Yeah.
Anyways.
Fucking dumb.
All right, everybody. This was episode 77.
That was my football number at one point.
We don't know the name of it yet.
I think I do.
Well,
Full-blown AIDS.
Full-blown AIDS. I don't know. There was something else I said in the middle that was pretty funny, but I can't remember
laughed
what it was.
that one time, and it made me cough.
But anyways, all right, y'all. This has been episode 77. If you were listening to this, as always, you are the Bad Vibe.